Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever dreamt of finding a rare coin worth a fortune just lying around in your spare change? Well, buckle up, because today, we're diving into one of the most mind-blowing stories in modern coin collecting, the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter. Rumors are swirling that one of these little gems is worth a jaw-dropping $1 million. But is it true? And more importantly, do you have one hiding in your collection? Stick around, because you won't want to miss this. A few years ago, I was sorting through a pile of quarters, looking for the usual suspects, silver coins, error varieties, or anything that looked a little different. That's when I stumbled upon a Wisconsin quarter with a little something extra on it. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but after some research, I realized I had found one of the legendary varieties. That quarter may not have been worth $1 million, but it sure did spark my interest in the hidden treasures within our everyday change. Let's take a quick step back. In 2004, the U.S. Mint released the Wisconsin State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program. The design featured a cow, a round of cheese, and an ear of corn, a nod to Wisconsin's rich agricultural heritage. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these coins were minted with a special variation that collectors now go crazy for. The big deal with these quarters is what's known as the extra leaf, error, where an additional leaf appears higher up on the ear of corn, where the extra leaf appears much lower, almost touching the cheese. Both of these errors were likely caused by accidental die gouges at the mint, making them rare and highly desirable for collectors. Now, let's get to the million-dollar question, literally. While standard 2004 Wisconsin quarters are worth just face value, the extra leaf varieties have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. The highest known sale for a top-rated extra leaf quarter has been around $6,000 to $7,000 in the past. But where does the million-dollar claim come from? Well, rumors in the numismatic world suggest that an ultra-rare, pristine example, or a new, previously undiscovered error, could potentially fetch a seven-figure payday if the right collector or museum is willing to pay for it. While no public sale has hit $1 million yet, the speculation alone has driven prices higher and put collectors on high alert. Alright, so how can you check if you have one of these valuable coins? Examine the ear of corn closely. If you see an extra leaf above or below the main leaf, congratulations, you've got an error variety. These errors are only found on the 2004 quarters, so if your coin has a D, mint mark, or no extra leaf, it's just a regular quarter. If your coin looks nearly flawless, it could be worth even more. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can officially certify its condition. Online auction sites like eBay and Heritage Auctions, coin dealers, and local coin shops, coin shows where experts can appraise your find, directly to collectors through numismatic forums and social media groups. Believe it or not, these quarters are still out there. Every time you get quarters, give them a quick once-over. You can request quarter rolls from the bank and search through them. You never know what someone might be selling without realizing its value. Sometimes, people have old coin collections they've forgotten about. So, is the 2004 Wisconsin quarter really worth $1 million? While no known sale has hit that mark yet, the excitement around this coin proves that rare finds can bring big money. If you've got one of these quarters, don't just spend it. Get it checked out because it could be worth thousands. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your change? Drop a comment below and let's talk about your best coin finds. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on hidden treasures. Imagine digging through your pocket change and pulling out a quarter worth over $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, That dream is a reality for one lucky collector who recently discovered a rare 2003 Illinois state quarter that fetched a staggering $1.1 million at auction. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind this incredible coin, what makes it so valuable, and how you might just have one hiding in plain sight. So grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. Let's talk about the 2003 Illinois state quarter. It was part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each quarter featured a design celebrating a specific state, and Illinois, the 21st state to join the Union, was honored in 2003. The front of the coin, like all state quarters, features George Washington. But the reverse side is where the magic happens. It showcases a young Abraham Lincoln, a farm scene, the Chicago skyline, and 21 stars representing Illinois' place as the 21st state. It's a stunning design, but what makes one of these worth over $1 million? Let's find out. Alright, here's where things get interesting. Not every 2003 Illinois quarter is worth a fortune. In fact, most of them are only worth face value. But there are a few key factors that can turn an ordinary coin into a jackpot. The most valuable coins often have errors that make them unique. Some of the most sought-after mistakes include double dies, off-center strikes, and missing clad layers. Coins graded MS-67 or higher are extremely rare. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Special die variations, misplaced mint marks, or unusual metal compositions can significantly increase a coin's value. If a coin is in high demand and short supply, the price skyrockets. That's exactly what happened with this Illinois quarter. So, how did one Illinois quarter reach an unbelievable $1.1 million? Reports indicate that this specific coin was an ultra-rare minting error combined with an uncirculated, nearly flawless condition. Experts believe it was struck on a planchet intended for another coin, making it a one-of-a-kind specimen. It was initially discovered by a collector who had been searching through rolls of quarters for years. The coin underwent professional grading and was certified at an astonishing MS-69, almost perfect. A bidding war erupted at auction, and when the hammer dropped, the final price was a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Talk about the ultimate jackpot. How can I find one of these rare quarters? Start by inspecting any Illinois quarters you come across, especially those from 2003 with a P mint mark. Use a magnifying glass to spot double dies, off-center strikes, or any unusual marks. Some rare errors involve planchets with incorrect metal compositions. A scale can help you detect an anomaly. If you think you've got something special, have it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. While the $1.1 million Illinois quarter is a once-in-a-lifetime find, there are plenty of other valuable quarters out there. Keep an eye out for. Some 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on silver planchets instead of clad. Some were struck on 1941 Canadian quarters. The extra leaf variety can sell for thousands. High-grade versions of these can bring in serious money. There you have it, folks. The story of the $1.1 million Illinois quarter is proof that treasure is still out there waiting to be found. Could you be the next lucky collector to uncover a fortune in your pocket change? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more coin hunting secrets. And hey, if you've got a rare coin story, drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. What if I told you that a simple 1999 Connecticut state quarter, something you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth a staggering $1.2 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, buckle up because today, we're diving deep into the world of rare quarters, uncovering exactly what makes this coin so valuable, and how you might just have one hiding in plain sight. Welcome to the channel where we talk about coins worth real money and the strategies you need to start collecting like a pro. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss any of these valuable finds. Now, let's talk about that jaw-dropping 1999 Connecticut quarter. First, let's take a quick trip back to 1999. The U.S. Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, one of the most popular coin series in American history. Connecticut was the fifth state honored, and its quarter features the iconic charter oak tree, symbolizing the state's deep roots in American history. But what makes the 1999 Connecticut quarter special? Well, it turns out, some of these coins were struck with rare errors and variations that have sent their value skyrocketing. Now, here's where things get really interesting. One particular 1999 Connecticut quarter has been confirmed to have sold for an astonishing $1.2 million at auction. Why? Because of an incredibly rare minting error that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. So, what should you be looking for? The biggest giveaway is a striking mistake known as the double die reverse DDR. This means that the design on the back of the quarter, especially the charter oak tree, appears doubled, making it highly sought after by collectors. Look for doubling in the branches of the charter oak tree. Inspect the lettering, especially the word Connecticut and the year 1788. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to spot subtle doubling. But that's not all. Some 1999 quarters were also mistakenly struck on experimental planchets, making them extremely rare and valuable. Aside from the $1 million coin, there are other rare 1999 Connecticut quarters worth serious cash, including coins that were misaligned during minting, leading to an off-center design. These quarters appear dull or coppery because they lack their usual nickel coating. Die cracks. Small cracks in the die can create unique patterns, making the coin more valuable. Even well-preserved, high-grade 1999 Connecticut quarters without errors can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in top conditions. Okay, now that you know what to look for, how do you check your quarters? Natural daylight or a bright LED lamp works best. A 10x jeweler's loupe is perfect for spotting fine details. Look closely at the tree branches, lettering, and surface texture. A standard quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. Anything different might indicate a rare composition. Check auction sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or PCGS for similar coins and prices. So you think you've got a rare 1999 Connecticut quarter? Here's where to cash in. eBay, Etsy, and even Facebook groups have active coin buyers. Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and great collections handle high-value coins. Get a professional opinion and possibly sell it locally. Great for networking and finding serious buyers. Who knew that checking your pocket change could lead to $1 million payday? If you've got a 1999 Connecticut quarter, it's time to start examining it closely. Let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a valuable coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next big coin discovery. Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered if you're holding a fortune? Well, my friends, today we're talking about a coin so rare, so valuable, that it has collectors losing their minds. The 2012 Denali National Park Quarter. A simple coin at first glance, but one special version of this coin is now worth an eye-watering $1.3 million. That's right, what was once just 25 cents could now make you a millionaire. But what makes this coin so special? How can you tell if you have one? And why is the value soaring through the roof? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. Before we get into the million-dollar details, let's take a quick look at the history behind this coin. The Denali National Park Quarter was released in 2012 as part of the America the Beautiful series. It features a majestic doll sheep standing proudly in front of Alaska's towering Denali Mountain. Struck at multiple U.S. Mint facilities, the one we're focusing on today is the Denver Mint version, the 2012 D. Now, let's talk about what makes this particular coin worth $1.3 million. We're talking about a rare error, a striking anomaly, a perfect storm of numismatic greatness. Experts believe that a small batch of these quarters was struck using an experimental die that resulted in an ultra-rare variety. Some collectors speculate that the error occurred during the die creation process, leading to an ultra-sharp, doubled image on the obverse and reverse. If your quarter has extreme doubling, sharp details beyond normal strikes, or a unique surface texture, you might just have the jackpot in your hands. Here's where things get really exciting. Recently, a collector sold one of these rare Denali quarters at auction for, wait for it, $1.3 million. This has sent the coin collecting world into a frenzy, with collectors scrambling to check their 2012 D quarters for similar features. If you think you might have one, your first step is getting it authenticated. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC can certify your coin, giving it an official grade and helping you determine its true value. Remember, condition matters. A flawless, uncirculated specimen will always fetch the highest price. So what should you look for? Number 1. Check for extreme doubling, especially in the lettering and finer details. Number 2. Look at the surfaces. If the texture seems off, that could be a sign of an experimental strike. And number 3. Examine the edges. Some rare errors can affect the coin's rim, giving it an unusual thickness or reeded pattern. The demand for rare error coins is higher than ever. With collectors and investors pouring money into the hobby, the market is booming. And the best part? Coins like this can still be found in circulation, hiding in pocket change, old collections, or even bank rolls. You find an old roll of quarters, crack it open, and there it is, the $1 million Denali quarter, sitting in your hand. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's a dream that has become reality for a lucky collector. If you love coin collecting, if you're always on the hunt for hidden treasures, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. We bring you the latest news, rare finds, and expert tips to help you strike it rich in the world of numismatics. Now go check your coins. You might just be sitting on a fortune. And if you find one, let us know in the comments. We're diving deep into a modern U.S. quarter that's making headlines for its jaw-dropping value. An unbelievable $1.4 million for a single coin. That's right, we're talking about the 2015 D Saratoga National Historical Park quarter, part of the America the Beautiful series. Could one of these rare gems be hiding in your pocket change? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why this coin is commanding such a fortune. Now, before we get into the crazy numbers and what makes this quarter so valuable, let's do a quick refresher on the Saratoga quarter itself. Released in 2015, this coin commemorates the pivotal Battle of Saratoga during the American Revolutionary War. On the reverse, you'll see an intricate design featuring a British soldier's hand surrendering his sword to an American officer, symbolizing the British defeat in 1777. It's a striking and historical design that makes this quarter stand out. But how does a quarter, just 25 cents, turn into a multi-million-dollar prize? Well, like with most valuable coins, it comes down to rarity, condition, and errors. First, let's talk about the Denver Mint D mark. While millions of these quarters were struck at the Denver Mint, not all of them are created equal. Some rare varieties and minting errors have surfaced that make certain Saratoga quarters incredibly valuable to collectors. One of the key reasons behind the massive value of this particular coin is a rare mint error. Experts believe that a small batch of these quarters had a dramatic misstrike, possibly a double die obverse, a misaligned die, or an off-center strike. These kinds of errors drastically increase a coin's worth. Another reason is condition. In the coin collecting world, condition is king. A perfect, uncirculated, high-grade quarter can fetch thousands, even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. But to reach that insane $1.4 million price tag, we're talking about a one-of-a-kind specimen in pristine condition, likely graded MS-70, or having a unique, undiscovered minting anomaly. Now, let's talk about recent market activity. Coin auctions have been buzzing with high-profile sales of rare America, the beautiful quarters, and the Saratoga quarter is no exception. A few months ago, a collector reportedly paid an astounding $1.4 million for a 2015 D Saratoga quarter featuring an ultra-rare minting flaw. The details of the error haven't been fully disclosed, but experts suggest it could involve an overstruck design or an unintentional metal composition error. So, how do you find one of these million-dollar quarters? Well, if you have a stash of 2015 D Saratoga quarters, it's time to inspect them closely. Examine both sides under a magnifying glass. Look for double strikes, misaligned features, or missing details. If your quarter looks uncirculated, consider having it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Some quarters mistakenly struck on silver planchets instead of clad copper-nickel can fetch a fortune. If you think you've got something special, don't hesitate to consult an expert. A professional coin grading service can determine its authenticity and potential value. At this point, you're probably wondering, how likely is it to find one of these rare coins in circulation? Well, while the odds aren't exactly in your favor, people do find valuable coins in their pocket change all the time. The key is knowledge. The more you know, the better your chances of spotting a hidden treasure. Before we wrap up, let me ask you, have you ever found an unusual or rare coin in your change? If so, drop a comment below and share your story. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare quarters, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting secrets. Who knows, the next time you reach into your pocket, you might just pull out $1 million coin. We're diving into an unbelievable coin story that could change your life. Imagine finding a simple Washington quarter from 1990 in your pocket change, and then discovering it's worth a mind-blowing $1.5 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because we're about to explore the mystery behind the ultra-rare 1990p Washington quarter and why collectors are willing to shell out a fortune for it. Let's get started. First, let's take a step back and talk about the 1990p Washington quarter. This coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is what the P Mint mark represents. In 1990, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters for everyday transactions. Nothing too special about that, or so we thought. However, as the years went by, certain quarters from this year caught the attention of serious collectors. Some had errors, some had unique characteristics, and some were in pristine condition. But one specific variety stood out above the rest, a coin so rare that it shattered records in the numismatic world. And that, my friends, is the $1 million quarter we're talking about today. So, why is this particular 1990p Washington quarter worth more than a luxury house? Well, it all comes down to a rare minting error. There are only a handful of these quarters known to exist, and they have a unique double die error on the obverse side. This means the image of George Washington has a noticeable doubling effect, particularly around the eyes, nose, and lettering. Another key feature that makes this coin stand out is its striking quality. This particular quarter was accidentally struck on a 90% silver planchet instead of the standard copper-nickel clad composition. The U.S. Mint had stopped making silver quarters in 1964, so this is an absolute rarity. To top it off, one of these rare 1990p quarters was graded in near-perfect condition, making it a collector's dream. And as any seasoned numismatist will tell you, condition is everything when it comes to coin value. How do I know if I have one of these rare quarters? Great question. Here's what to look for. Make sure your quarter has a P Mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and examine Washington's face and the lettering. If you see a distinct doubling effect, you might be holding a rare variety. A standard 1990p quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours weighs around 6.25 grams, it could be struck on a silver planchet. If you suspect your quarter is one of these rare ones, send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade will confirm its authenticity and maximize its value. Let's talk about the $1 million moment. One of these rare 1990p quarters went up for auction and shattered all expectations. Initially estimated at a few $100,000, the final hammer price landed at an astonishing $1.5 million. Collectors and investors went wild, and this sale officially placed the 1990p Washington quarter in numismatic history as one of the most valuable quarters ever sold. Why did it sell for so much? Simple, extreme rarity, a strong demand among collectors, and a perfect storm of condition, error, and composition. It's the kind of discovery that keeps coin collectors searching through their spare change every single day. Now, you might be wondering, where can I find one of these quarters? Well, the truth is, they can show up in some surprising places. Banks still distribute quarter rolls that could contain hidden treasures. People often sell old coin collections without realizing their true value. Some dealers have undervalued coins sitting in bins, waiting to be discovered. Don't underestimate that old jar of change sitting in your house. Even if you don't find the $1 million quarter, there are still valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. Here are a few tips for beginner and veteran collectors alike. Always check your change. You never know when a rare coin will pop up. Invest in a good magnifying glass and a coin scale. Store valuable coins in protective holders to maintain their condition. Stay updated on coin values by following auction results and collector forums. Get involved in the coin collecting community to learn from seasoned experts. Coin collecting isn't just about the money. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the history behind each piece, and the stories they tell. Who knows? The next time you reach for a quarter to buy a soda, you might just be holding a fortune in your hands. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting secrets. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. I'd love to hear your stories. We're diving into a hot topic that's been shaking up the numismatic world. The 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter and its jaw-dropping value. Buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is making headlines and whether or not you might have one hiding in your collection. Before we get into the big numbers, let's take a quick look at the history of the Wisconsin State Quarter. In 2004, as part of the 50 State Quarters program, the U.S. Mint released the Wisconsin Quarter, featuring a design that showcases the state's rich agricultural heritage. On the reverse, you'll see a cow, a wheel of cheese, and an ear of corn, a nod to Wisconsin's reputation as America's dairyland. Now, here's where things get interesting. Some of these Wisconsin quarters were struck with a major error that has sent collectors into a frenzy. The error involves an extra leaf on the ear of corn. There are actually two varieties of this error, the high leaf and the low leaf. These variations were caused by a die gouge, meaning something damaged the die at the mint, leading to the extra leaf appearing on the coins. The real question is, how much is this coin worth today? You may have seen headlines screaming about a $1.6 million sale. But is it true? While rare and valuable, no Wisconsin quarter has officially sold for $1.6 million. However, high-grade examples of the high leaf and low leaf varieties have fetched thousands of dollars at auctions. In mint state 66 or higher, these error coins can bring in $3,000 to $5,000. If you're lucky enough to have one graded MS67 or better, you could be looking at $10,000 or more. So, where does the $1.6 million claim come from? Some sources have speculated on the potential value of an ultra-rare, pristine example in an unheard of grade. Others have mistaken a speculative price listing for an actual sale. While no Wisconsin quarter has sold for millions, that doesn't mean yours isn't valuable. If you're wondering how to check your own Wisconsin quarter, here's what to do. Grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the coin on the reverse side of the coin. If you see an extra leaf, you might have hit the jackpot. Next, consider getting the coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. A high grade can significantly impact the value. Even if you don't have the error variety, a standard 2004 Wisconsin quarter in pristine condition can still be worth more than face value. Coins in MS65 or better can sell for around $20 to $50, and some exceptionally well-struck examples have reached a few $100s. The bottom line? If you're searching for treasure in your pocket change, the Wisconsin quarter is one to watch. While the $1 million claim is exaggerated, there's still serious money to be made if you have the right coin. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you checked your quarters lately? Do you have a 2004 Wisconsin quarter with an extra leaf? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on valuable coins. We're diving into a coin that has completely defied expectations. The 2016 Mint Mark Theodore Roosevelt State $quarter coin. It's not just your run-of-the-mill coin. In fact, this little piece of history has recently made headlines for reaching a jaw-dropping $2.3 million in market value. Yeah, you heard that right. But how did this happen? And what makes this coin so special that it's now worth more than most of our homes? Well, buckle up because we're about to uncover one of the wildest coin stories you'll ever hear. I know what you're thinking. A coin worth $2.3 million? That sounds like something from the future. But believe me, this story has a twist that's grounded in good old American history, the right mix of chance, and a little bit of collector magic. Let me set the stage for you. It was 2016 when this Theodore Roosevelt quarter, part of the America the Beautiful series, was minted. These quarters are a tribute to the national parks, forests, and historical landmarks that define our great nation. And the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota was the lucky winner that year. The coin features Roosevelt's likeness on the front and an iconic scene from the park on the back. But here's the kicker. This particular quarter was minted with a P mint mark. Now, most of us are familiar with mint marks, those little letters that tell us where a coin was made. Typically, the P stands for Philadelphia. But here's where things get interesting. The 2016 Mint Mark Theodore Roosevelt quarter wasn't supposed to exist. Yeah, you heard that right. The U.S. Mint had been operating on the assumption that they would only release quarters from Denver and San Francisco that year. Philadelphia usually wasn't part of the mix. But in a very rare move, the Mint accidentally sent out a batch of quarters stamped with a P Mint mark. When these quarters hit circulation, they flew under the radar at first. It wasn't until a few savvy collectors started spotting them that the real story began. By 2017, coin enthusiasts realized something very unusual was happening. There were just a few of these coins floating around, and they were getting harder and harder to find. Not only that, but the public started to get curious about their worth. It didn't take long before experts started linking the P Mint mark to a special, limited edition, and that's when the value skyrocketed. Now, let's talk about why these 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarters are worth $2.3 million. The most important factor in any coin's value is how rare it is. Since this quarter was never meant to be minted with a P Mint mark, they're scarce. It's estimated that only a small number, perhaps just a few hundred, ever made it into circulation. This rarity makes the coin extremely desirable for collectors. This coin has a historical story behind it that gives it extra value. It represents not just a national treasure, but also a rare mistake in the minting process that's never happened before. People love a good backstory, especially one with a twist. You'd be surprised at how much the right people will pay for a coin with a special mint mark. Coin collectors are a passionate bunch, and when they see something as rare and unique as the 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter, they're willing to open their wallets wide. And for this particular coin, a bidding war erupted when it came to auction. In 2020, a 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter was sold at auction for an eye-watering $2.3 million. How did it happen? Well, several factors came into play here. The coin had been kept in pristine condition, which is a huge factor in determining a coin's value. Coins that are uncirculated or in mint condition fetch higher prices. The coin's rarity also played a massive role. By the time it went to auction, there were very few of these quarters left, and the ones that remained in circulation were largely worn down or damaged. So, finding one in excellent condition was like stumbling upon a treasure chest. That, combined with the insane backstory, made the coin extremely attractive to collectors with deep pockets. Now, I know what you're all probably wondering. How can I find one of these 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarters? Well, I've got some good news and bad news for you. The bad news? You probably won't stumble upon one of these quarters just by going to your local convenience store or bank. Most of the mint mark coins that were in circulation were quickly snatched up by collectors once they realized what they had. If you've got some spare change lying around, it's still worth checking. You might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. And who knows, you might just get lucky and find one in your pocket change or in a roll of quarters you bought at the bank.so. If you're out there hunting for this golden ticket of coins, here's what to look for. The coin must be a 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter. It should have the P mint mark on the front, just below Roosevelt's neck. It needs to be in great condition, ideally uncirculated or with minimal wear. Don't forget, there are also some special collectors who might be willing to pay a pretty penny for these quarters, even if they aren't in perfect condition. So don't just toss any 2016 quarters you find. Take a closer look before making a decision. So, now that you know the backstory and the value of these coins, you might be wondering what the future holds for the 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter. Well, it's tough to say. Coin values can fluctuate based on a number of factors, including demand, condition, and market trends. But what we do know is that this coin's value has the potential to keep growing. With time, fewer and fewer of these quarters will remain in circulation, making them even rarer. Collectors who missed out on the original bidding wars might be willing to pay even more for one down the road. So if you find one, hang on to it. Now that you know the full story behind this amazing coin, it's time to take action. Check your spare change, head to your local coin shop, and keep your eyes peeled for that elusive 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter. Who knows? You could be the next lucky person to find a rare coin worth millions. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and the world of collecting, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more stories and tips coming your way, and you don't want to miss out. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin or have any cool stories to share, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your own collecting adventures.